So this recording will later be also in the community, in the classroom. So you probably already see this. So from the last online course we have, webinar, we have new thing in the classroom. So one is webinar recordings. Here you can find all the webinar recordings, whatever we will do. So every time when I'm putting it there. And the second super important thing, Borut and we wrote free crash course how to use AI for a project writers. So if you are really at least, let's say, small interested how to use artificial intelligence in your project, this is a must thing here. Now, a lot of people saying I'm already using them, but still go through and see if you will find something, because later we will do also advanced AI project writers course, which will use all the knowledge from here, and of course also the things. Okay, I will do some. Okay, just a second. Okay, I will share again. Okay. So this is what you can find in classroom. And as I said, I don't know why it's not this picture. That should be picture about the course, but I will figure it out what. So in the course you have about 40 short chapters. So let's try to go through and see later what you can use out of it. It's totally free, very, let's say, short courses, but super important. What I will also suggest that you understand how we are working here. What I will say here is that 95% of all my knowledge here is free. So methodologies, free courses, AI approach, partners, search and connection. So whatever we're doing here is for free. But what I would suggest that if you have more, let's say, more thing to, let's say, discuss, or you want to work with me, then is, for the top 5% of the project managers in Europe, because this is actually one-to-one work, or at least, in our courses. So whoever was on my face-to-face course can know or know what is, difference when you work one-to-one with someone who can ask, and if you just work, on your own. So 95% of everything is free. If you want to work with me, at the end, you will still have opportunities, so you can join my courses. Okay, so what we will do today is, let's say, about 75 minutes and key strategies for project evaluations. Borut will select 4 to 6 of the best questions for me to answer. Let's say that we will have enough time to it, but you will tell. And then I will also share a link to the free strategy sessions as an opportunity to work together. And this is not a sales, okay? So if you want to, try to find a way how you can improve your work, we can we can help you with some strategies which you can, then decide how we will do it. Okay. So main theme for today is project evaluation with artificial intelligence. This is the thing which I actually developing is from 2017. way before any AI. And I already started to write the project based on that, but write the software to do this. But of course, when the AI came, was totally new approach. That's why I'm now probably have the only really thorough project evaluator tool, and I will show you today how you can do it, something, how you can use it for free, and how it's also for the other services. Before we go into it, I will need to explain how normally we are doing with the project. We are writing this project until the last minute and try to write, whatever we need to do and then just submit it. And after submitting, we have just hoping or praying or whatever you will want to say about that. This is how majority of the people is working with any kind of project, not just Erasmus. My idea is different. The proper way should be that you write and then you evaluate what you did, either with the AR or with your colleague, which will give you, some kind of feedback, and then you can improve. And I'm doing this circle practically in every project for the 4th time. And here, at the end, I'm always also polish the new text, because when you improve it, the existing text, sometimes you're just adding new information. And when you read the complete text, it's sometimes very awkward. It's not flowing and you have no problem reading. I'm telling you because I have, just in the last few days, I evaluated probably 30 different application form. I have, of course, one-to-one coaching on them, and this polishing at the end is super important. If not, you will just have unstructured text, which is not useful for the people. Okay? So this is the difference. If you will write it and submit it, you will have, whatever you will have. But if you will do the good way and you'll try to improve it few way, definitely you will get back with the best project ever you can have. So this is opportunity for you to really create your Ferrari, not staying with the old feature, old Fiat. And that is one of the things what we want to discuss with you today. Also, you need to understand that your work costs money, not just time. If you will evaluate, because generally every project needs between 150 to 200 hours. And if we will use just the same per hour as a car mechanic, this is cost between 6,000 and 9,000 euros every project you are writing. And you need to pay this money if you are approved or not. This is how much your project writing is costing. So it is clear that we need a solution for evaluation to really have, as soon as possible, a project approved. Of course, the first step is very quickly write the project and then, of course, evaluate it and improve it as well. So today, I will show you 2 different things. I will show you very simple prompts, what you can do from your, directly from your ChatGPT with, let's say, with different prompts. And then I will show you also how I'm using my tool, which is another level. So let's start with the free prompts, which you can then use. So the first is how to learn from past evaluation. Let's say that you've been already, let's say, rejected. How you can use artificial intelligence to help you with that. And we have really nice prompt is saying, analyze my evaluation and create my action plan for project improvement. Why I'm doing this? Because sometimes evaluations are very difficult to understand, and AutoFit AI will create the action plan, what you need to do to improve your application. So I will go every time to show you really, on the, I will give you a little more bigger. So I will upload one of my previous evaluations. This is even in Norwegian language. And super nice is that you don't need to translate it before. If I will open it, for example, here, just a second. Where I have it now, here it is, evaluation. Okay, I will show you later, the content. So what I will just do, I will just type, analyze my evaluation, create my action plan for project improvement. So upload it first and say, analyze my project evaluation and create me an action plan for improvement. That's it, nothing more. And look, you will get a super easy to understand action plan, what you need to do. And, it says strengthen the inclusion component. So that was not good enough. So what are action steps? What you need to do? Expand the description of inclusion, provide concrete examples, include support plan. You see, I didn't do anything else than this. So you can really use this for very quickly improvement. Then clarify the justification of the partnership, what you will do. Risk management is not good. Emphasize accessibility of project results, general improvements, and then conclusion. So if you will, don't understand what you need to do, you can have it that way. You can even say, present me action steps in table format. So whatever you will say now, you'll be written that way, so I can really quickly see what are your things to do. So strengthen the inclusion, what is the feedback for evaluator, and what is your action plan, what you need to do. So I don't care anymore how difficult to understand is this evaluation of mine. I'm doing all the time this step-by-step thing. And with AI is much clearer what was, the feedback from the evaluators. And this really give me a lot of time more to, focus on my project instead of try to understand what evaluators means. Okay, so this is the first step, what you can do. Let's say that in the second, scenario, you are starting from the beginning and you want to evaluate your project idea, from the first step. You already know that I always proposing that you will start your idea with the problem and the solution, but you can also ask, to find if this problem solution have some unique element by comparing it to existing approaches. So that means that whatever you will, propose, AI will try to research what already is available and say, this is good and this maybe can be improved in that way. So I will go again from scratch. And I will open one of my idea development template. So this is my step-by-step approach, how I'm doing. So this is just a second. Okay, so this is my idea development template. I already explained last time that I'm doing 26 different steps, how to develop all the idea. It said 23, but we have here, intermittent different topics. So what I will go here, I'm always starting with the problem and the solution. So I will use this problem and the solution and try to evaluate it. So I will say, this is my project idea. And I paste the problem and the proposed solution. And now I can go here and I will just copy that post. In any case, you will get this, of course, in Classroom. So help me identify if this idea truly has unique element by comparing to existing approach. So that suggest a way to make it more specific and distinctive and rate its specificity on scale 1 to 10. So I try to figure it out if this is useful, and it has unique element in it. And that is said, identify unique element. Your project idea touches two well-documented challenges: gender disparity, engaging methods. What are existing approaches, and what is my unique element? But what is super important, always look for, what you can improve. Make it more specific and distinctive, for example, and that is one important thing that you can use it for future work. Maybe target group can be different, what kind of curriculum we can do. And it said, if on the rating 1 to 10, my current idea have 5. But if I will improve this, that could be 8 to 10. If I clearly define learning process, specify the teacher's training model and how to do it. So what are the steps to improve it. And this is one of the really good start to make your project idea unique before you start to work in the application. Okay, so this is idea to help you really better. Okay, so let's proceed. So that was 2 different scenarios for the step 1. First, if you already have a project, reject it, and now we are starting from the beginning. Evaluation with a step 2, first evaluation your project text. And let's say that based on this idea, you already have your project written and you want to have your first feedback from your project. So again, you can just start from the beginning with the AI, and I will upload one of my application form. Just a second, and I can have it look. I will just upload it in the PDF in the same as you can, use it from the portal. So you don't need to have it, for example, from your Word or whatever. Any kind of project you can use. And then again, I will say this. Find award criteria for Erasmus Plus adult education, because I know this is from adult education. That needs to be, consistent. If you will upload, for youth, some of the criteria is not the same. So try to figure it out that this is really not. And they say, then evaluate my project based on this award criteria. Very short and simple. And you already have really quite good evaluation. So at the beginning, it will say what is the award criteria for that. Relevance, quality of project design, quality partnership, impact, dissemination, sustainability. And then it will go step by step, about that, relevance, general things, and always try to figure it out what is written in the recommendations. Okay? Recommendations, how to do it. And you have overall evaluations. Don't take this for granted, because this is very, let's say, not deep evaluation. This is just general. We are here more looking for recommendations for you than for a score. Okay? Score cannot be true with, this is just one of the opportunity to do. So this is important. And then if you really want to do, you can even say, explain me more about the recommendations for relevance. And, you will just go into that specific recommendations to do it, and you will get step by step what you can use for it. Okay, it says strengthen the European added value, how to improve, and what to write here. Again, improve the justification of target group, and also said there is not enough citing of different European policy, and you already have the example how to use it. Okay, so when you're using it that way, don't look to the score, look to the improvement you can do it. And of course, every time those improvements are only, let's say, suggestions. You are the boss of project writing. You need to then select what is good and what is not. This is tool. This needs to support you, not you to just use this example and just put it into your application. That would be wrong. Okay? Use your knowledge, your experience, because AI don't have the experience. You have experience. AI have knowledge, and important thing how to connect it, and then just use this as a tool to support whatever you already know. That is much quicker learning than to submit your application to the evaluator as we did 2 years ago, and then try to figure it out how to improve. That is much better way. Okay, so again, that was how to use award criteria for your first evaluation. Go step by step in it. As you see, you need to a little understand those prompts here. That's why I'm saying go to our school community, because it is free in classroom, and use this project AI for project writing, and go this 5 modules step by step, because there is a lot of practical exercise, how to put everything together, the explanations, what you need to do, what is the conversation with it, what is the different prompts. So this is already described here, and this is for free. Just use it, to understand what I'm doing here. I cannot just explain every time, but this is, important steps to understand what you need to do. Okay? So this is how to use award criteria. You know, sometimes you even don't understand award criteria. You can go there and back say, explain me more about award criteria and what is this. You know, and that is a really nice intro for that. Okay, let's continue. Now we will go into more deep analysis, which actually is not possible before the AI, or it's really difficult to understand, especially because evaluator is using their gut feeling and their past knowledge to really pinpoint these problems, but AI can, you know, with methodology and different approaches can pinpoint very quickly if you understand what you need to search for. And one of the things is unquestioned assumptions. So if you've been with me for a while, you probably already know what is unquestioned assumption. Actually, an unquestioned assumption is that you state something in your application form without any actual evidence that this will really happen, or this is, you know, have some kind of support evidence. For example, a lot of time you will say, once we train young people with our training methodology, we will achieve better youth employability, or even say 10% or better. We don't have any evidence that this is happening. This statement does not have support evidence. So this is called unquestioned assumptions. And this is really difficult to find out if you really don't know what to look. And evaluators definitely with the, let's say, with the status, with the long years of experience, will find this actually very quickly. But if you don't understand it, and specifically when we are writing, sometimes just miss that. So let's say what you can say. When you have your project, you can say, start the application and find me unquestioned assumptions for me to improve them. So I will use this application form from the beginning, and I say, as I said here, study the application. Study the application. Okay, why I'm typing? Because I can talk. Study the application, and it started. So this is also one way to learn how to pronounce English very well. If not, AI will not understand you. Study the application and identify unquestioned assumptions in the text. Okay, so here is identify unquestioned assumptions. Unquestioned assumptions: migrant elders and dementia patients will benefit from Montessori-based method in adult education. You know why this assumption is not good? Because the exist search is primarily for primary school children, is designed for children. How that does mean that, you know, migrant elders and dementia patients will, you know, be used, can use this Montessori-based application. So there is no evidence to existing study. So you need to find this evidence and present it in your application. If not, the same will evaluator ask. How do you know that your methodology will work? This is very important part of the application. So we need to say, studies such X and Y have demonstrated that structured hands-on Montessori-based activities improve cognitive stimulation, engagement, and dementia care. Okay, so this is what you need to see. So you will have unquestioned assumptions, and this is your answer, what you need to do. This is super difficult to find without AI. And that is one of the really important achievement, very easy to write, but still. Then, unquestioned assumption, adult educators are willing and able to integrate Montessori-based dementia care into their teaching. The proposal assumed that educators will understand and accept Montessori principle without resistance. No consideration is given to potential barriers. So you need to explain how we will overcome lack of prior knowledge, resistance to new methodology, or even workload constraint. How you will, persuade the future user to have this. So, and here you have again how to strengthen it. Assumption about digital content. Digital tools will be accessible and effective for all educators and all the learners. There is no mention of barriers like access to technology, cognitive limitation, or resistance to digital learning. And you still say all adult educators will use it. So again, you need to support. So, you will get 5, 6, 7 different unquestioned assumptions, which you can actually very easy to improve it, because you just need to find different statistical model, statistical information, but without it, let's say, the complete project can fail just because of that. And this is practically impossible to do without AI. And with AI, really simple. Okay? If you have any question, just write it in the chat, so later we can use it for question and answers. Okay. Again, some really important thing is polish final text. So I already explained you before how important is that text is not just broken into pieces, and you have some kind of flow. And that is what sometimes see in my application, So understanding project text improvements is like that, At the beginning, you have your project. And of course, you have your project, and of course, you will do evaluation based on this project. And then you will get some proposed changes, as you see before, those was proposed changes, like this, to ensure sustainability. And sometimes you will just use this text and put into existing text, and you will actually get something like that. So it will be still Fiat with the parts of the Ferrari on it, but this is not what you're looking for, because it's not clear. It's not going to be the important part altogether. So what you need to do is to rewrite and polish final text to get your Ferrari. So don't forget about this. This is, despite the fact it's funny, but I'm looking all the time about these projects, and I just can't believe it that people just try to put whatever you have in the application without polishing at the end. Yeah, and normally of course they're submitting this, and next time if they need to again improve, they will start from this. Polishing is important part. So I'm give you super easy prompt which will improve flow and delivery of the text. What is flow and delivery? Is actually something which will explain your problem in the consistent way from the beginning to end, and deliver your idea in the way that will be understandable. I can here get whatever text I have, let's say. Let's say here. let's say that this is part of my text, and I will say improve flow and delivery and add, or just improve flow and delivery, nothing else. And I will paste this. And even with that, you know, it will already start to be a little different because it will give you more context at the beginning. It will give more, let's say, idea how to step by step try to figure it out what is going on with that. And then when you have something like that, you can say also use more narrative form and use bullets only as only for, or let's say use 70% of the text as narrative form and use all bullets only for, let's say, small introductions. And you can, of course, try to make this text more and more easy to read, digestible in the way what you'll see. So as you see here, majority of the text is narrative here and explaining from the beginning to end, you know, different steps, and the end just give the key points to see what I want to do it. So you don't need a lot of different things, you know, even the fact if you'll have a lot of, you know, parts of information in it, AI will put all those together and make your text really easy to understand and read. So at the end, you will have your Ferrari. That is your improve. So that's why we are doing this. Okay. I hope that you are putting all the questions in the chat, so we will have later the chat. And now I will explain. So this is, let's say, basic evaluation steps you can use, which are still much more, let's say, thorough than you can do, you know, if you give this information to your friend to read it, because you know, when the friend will read it, and maybe if it is your your colleague, he will just not, or she will just not say anything to hurt you. So sometimes this feedback from the colleagues are not what you at the end want to hear. So try to figure it out how to use AI very quickly in the way I already explained it. But now, if you want to go to more precise analysis, we have another problem. I'm explaining so many times that despite the fact that we will have Erasmus Plus program guide and they have award criteria, when I evaluate, you know, all the past experience and try to create evaluation matrix, which is, you know, all the questions you need to ask to get 100%, let's say, I figured it out that 26% of the questions here are not in the program guide. Meaning that you need to answer something which are not in the program guide. And I start to figure out why is happening that, but the truth is because we have, let's say, shortage of the evaluators coming from other sectors like Horizon to the Erasmus sector, and they expect more than will be evaluated for Erasmus Plus, despite the fact they have strict things. But you know, if you're doing predominantly more comprehensive things, they want to see what they're used to do in their application. And that is sometimes very difficult. That's why I did this evaluation matrix, which I have, and I'm using it to evaluate not just with the 75% of the questions. I have this complete 100% set of all questions which I can give you. This is one thing. Another is also, if you want to have more sophisticated tool, you need to learn from past evaluation, because this is something which evaluators, do, but AI will not do this. So AI can learn from past evaluator and say, if this is the case again, this is the what I need to do it, and that is what I did with this universal project evaluator, which I will show you now, because we are already giving it to my colleagues who want to work with me. The last time we started in the August last year, so we have pretty long, let's say, experience how to use it, and super good experience from the people who are using it. So I will show you today what you need to do if you have more sophisticated projects. So, okay, I will show you here. So I have here Universal Project Evaluators is my GPT. You cannot find it in the store because I'll give you the complete link. And what I will do is, again, I will just upload. No, I will first say, I want to evaluate large scale A plus ADU project. And based on that, it will just give you information that is loaded evaluation matrix for the large scale. So this is about 300 different questions, how to to really question the complete application form with all the information needed. And I will explain you, now show you. Now you just need to upload your application. Again, just a second, I will give you the same application. And say, this is my application, please evaluate. And at the beginning, we'll first go to search the knowledge, what it needs to do. And first we'll, of course, tell everything what is written in the application form, what is here, what we will do, and who is, the consortium. And then we'll explain project objectives, key activities, and, the basic things. And now I need to say next, because the system have already predefined flow, and you don't need to understand any of your prompting. Now we will go through all the questions, and every question will try to evaluate, with the percentages. And you can already see where is, innovation about project approach, content. We have just 65 points. So is already see that something is not good. Or if citing research outside EU, explain how the findings are directly applicable to the project in European context. So, this is a proper way how to evaluate your project with all the different approach, how you need to do it, So this is how, you need to do. And then, of course, we will go to the next with the quality design. And we will do as, any other evaluator will do. We are doing here step by step, because here we said what is the award explain me a work criteria. If you understand, you can always ask, explain me a work criteria. Now, for example, you see for adult education, what is the relevance, what evaluators look for. So this is what you can do you as well. But all this information is already in my evaluation tool here. So you don't need to explain anything. That's why you just say next. And this is super useful for you not to spend time for it. And again, what we need to do next. And then we'll do evaluation of quality of partnership with everything in it. That's why at the end of this, you can really give the good score, which normally is just 2 to 3 points different than you then get with the evaluators. So really easy to use it. And now we will go after that. Actually, this is how I'm doing now all the evaluation of any of colleague or mine project as well, because I'm doing the same problems as you're doing. You know, you can, the tool also asking, do you want to have scoring? Do you want to have strength and weaknesses? What you want to have it here? But now I just said I need to want full evaluation report. And look, I see here 73.5. In that project, we got 74 points in Norway. Practically the same, you know, but this is not about this score. I will show you now much is much more important here. It is what is strength, but areas of improvement, which is much more deep than before, you know. Project lacks clear comparative analysis. We don't have gap analysis. We don't have KPIs, or they are not good. Dissemination explantation plan needs to be more detailed, you know. And we have also specific actionable recommendations what you need to do in every of those sectors specifically. And then I can go and ask for a Pareto principle action plan. Action plan is, instead of try to figure it out, what is the first step to do, you know, it will do list of steps you need to do based on the Pareto principle. Means that I will do 20% of all mentioned changes to have 80% of improvement. So I will go from the most important change I need to do step by step to do it. And, you know, when I say strengthen the innovation, we also say where, relevant sections, pages 31 to 38. So you will understand when you need to go back and where to improve, so you don't need to check it. You will also improve the measurement with the KPIs, you know, and where it is. Strengthen dissemination. Now, this is totally different level of it. And here you also have what is the, you know, the timeline fixes, how many days you need. Okay, you know, that would be the classic way, but this is more important, priority, what to start with here and what is other fix and what you need to do. So only key improvements. Now I will say return to flow and evaluate next step. It means because this is predefined flow, but now we try to find something else. It go back, and I will go to evaluate your writing style. Why is this important? because if your writing style is too difficult to read, you will also have, evaluators problems to follow. So it already said it's structured well, professional, but section contain long and complex sentence, making hard to follow, which is very difficult then to evaluators. Overuse of technical terms. So how to fix it? Flow and logical coherence is good, but still sections jump between ideas and without smooth transitions. This is what I already explained you before. Without polishing the text, improve flow and delivery, you will have something like that. It's very difficult to follow it. And you have, some how to use jargon and repetition, redundancy, engagement in where is not persuasiveness, persuasive, what is next? Repetition, unclear responses. Sometimes we are not answering the proper questions. We have a question, but we are answering something totally different. So the system go and find where is repeating something, or we have, unclear response. In the needs analysis, proposal repeatedly emphasize migrant elders face barriers integration. The same idea is stated in different ways across multiple paragraphs, meaning that we have the same paragraph multiple times. And this is, two problems. Annoying for readers, and you using the space which you don't need to use it, because you can say, we explain this in the needs analysis, and you spare the text, and this is really useful for it. And of course, you can say what is unclear or vague responsive innovation or digital learning strategy, and how, and what to fix here, and what are suggestions for improvement on clarity and logic. And of course, all the examples you need to have, just you need to be very specific about the numbers, despite the fact that I taking care a lot about the numbers, but you at the end, you will need to achieve that. So don't just copy them. Try to figure it out if this is really possible or not, because, this is not, next item in the flow. Theory of change. Theory of change try to analyze what we promised at the beginning, and if we did through the activities what we need to do. And this is, we don't have link between Montessori-based dementia care and measurable improvements, how you need to do. So these are missing links or assumptions. That is what we already try to figure it out in our previous free prompts. And there is suggested text to address missing links. So, there is so many levels still to go. I will not bother you with that, but the problem at the end, this is much easier. You can really quickly improve your application form with, all these tools, because you have this all the time with you. It just, whatever you have new version, putting it through and you have it. I will just show you another very nice sentiment analysis. I really like it. The sentiment analysis means that how the evaluators will feel when he will read or she will read your project text. So is this tone positive, or is negative, or is it clear, or is very difficult? For example, let's say in the project summary, the tone lacks strong urgency about the problem. We already have just only descriptive, needs more impact-driven language. So, why we need to do it? And, problem is when you see that some of this sentiment is negative, let's say, or is not described well. Some partners' contributions are described generically, meaning that you probably have the same description for all the project in the past. There is no focus on this project. And that's why you have, just imagine somebody who is reading your application form and, you see that is for all the time. So you can have how to improve all the stuff. This is still a few things to go. I will not bother you with this, but I just want to show the difference, what you can do with the free tool, with a few prompts, or what you can do with a tool where is almost 2 years of experience, how to really go through the application form and what to watch to really give it the proper feedback. So why we are doing now this is to really do the 4 steps we need to do for that. So this is what I want to show, what we can do together. So before we go to the Q&A, I hope also, Borut, that you gather some few things together. I need to say that, again, we are offering this free strategy call, because this is not selling, this is not obligation, no hidden agenda. Just if you want to, go next steps and see if we can do something together, despite the fact that you didn't know a lot about AI or project writing. If you just want to go one step late, this is opportunity for you. For who is not strategy call, don't just waste our time. It's if you believe the AI is a short trend, if you're looking for a magic template, because it's not, despite the fact that what I showed today with the evaluation, this is not the magic tool. You still need to understand and respond to what is written. And if you expect the AI to do all the work, and if you're not open to testing new AI-powered methodologies, and you don't want to invest time and resources and money to learn quicker, then, this is just not right time for you. Maybe it will be in the future. So just use whatever is free until now, and then we'll be ready when we can work together. So this is either you can take a picture for a QR code, or you can just go to that site and just make this strategic call. So if you're innovator, if you're early adopter, and you're willing to invest time, energy, and some money to this to advance your knowledge, then we can work together. If not, I will still provide 90% of 95% of my knowledge for free, and you just need to join our community, nothing else. Okay, so quality Q&A session and how to evaluate project with AI. Borut, please, can you go and say what is now?
Yeah, we have a few, let's say, logistical questions, but also some are for the purpose and the logic of this evaluation tool. So first start with the logic of the tool. The first question is, how reliable is this tool in identifying what we consider a uniqueness or an innovation of a project idea when we're trying to do the actual description and points that we would get?
So accuracy with the points is pretty well. I need to say, with whatever we tested, probably we tested about 300 different application forms in the last year and something, is, let's say, plus minus 3 points. But you need to understand, in every time this is super subjective. So even if you will have the same application, first evaluate it with one national agency and then submit to another, you will have a big disparity. So my focus here is not on the points. My focus is here to give you suggestions to improve. Points is only to see where you are maybe comparing to other things, but you don't take this as a ultimate solution. So I'm never using this as a part of, let's say, if you say, oh, 90 points, I don't need to improve anything. For me, this is wrong approach. What you need to do is that you will try to figure it out if this tool can help you with a suggestion or not. Okay?
Okay, great. The second question I can answer because we've already answered in the presentation, which was whether or not do we start the improvements based on a formal evaluation or the AI evaluation first, like you explained with the analogy between a Fiat and a Ferrari. You should use the AI evaluations during the process of you creating the application before you apply. And if you still don't get it funded, this is where you include plus your AI evaluations with the evaluations done by national agencies. So just to clarify this point.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you said
Yeah.
very well. You said very well. So don't just wait until the last moment and then correct. Try to correct, in the steps before, For example, when you create a risk management plan and then mitigation, try to evaluate and correct the activities already in that time, not at the end of the project, for example.
Okay,
Or whatever,
great.
you will do the same. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. This is about the unasked or unanswered assumption. Uh, do we fix those assumptions by providing evidences and explanation?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and that's the okay.
This is most important thing because this is, consistency of your project. If you will not answer unquestioned assumptions, that will mean that you're just assuming that you will succeed. You don't proving it. Okay.
Okay, so what if there is a situation where there is a unanswered assumption, but we cannot find a good resource or maybe a good explanation? What would be the best situation to
Yeah,
do it at that
this
point?
this is this is then problematic section, because Erasmus Plus is not a research based. Let's say that you can say, okay, we will research and then we'll tell if we achieve or not, because this is let's say hands-on based project programs. You need to have upfront some at least basic evidence that your methodology is working. So you need to try it in a way to find whatever. Even if you'll not find in the Europe, you can find it, let's say, in Asia or United States and say, look, that guys did this in the United States. We believe that will also be applicable in Europe, and this is the proof that this is working. Something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Okay?
so you run the risk of that not being evaluated well if you leave your unanswered assumptions
Yes.
because you don't know if the evaluator will agree with your assumption.
Exactly. This is one thing, and maybe you can go like in the primary school and say, okay, probably today the teacher will not question me, so I don't need to learn. Maybe I will pass, but it's
Yeah, it's a
just
big risk for
yeah,
so
it is.
many hours investing in a project.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, the next question, a very complicated one, is we saw for several years that evaluators have special preferences or trends that they would follow from year to year. Uh, Back in 2021, it was a major point for innovative. Later on, it was more about the impact, or there was more for the alignments of the needs of partner from all the different examples that you put. Given that this is a lot of changes and let's say preferences or trends between the evaluators, how reliably can we predict or maybe cover all of the bases when using evaluators?
This is actually very difficult to answer. What I say, for example, for 2025 is not important to be so innovative because we saw in the last 6 months that all the evaluations was more based to something else. This is post analysis. I cannot predict this upfront. What I'm doing normally, that I try to check all the national websites and say, for, let's say, if I will apply in Netherlands, what Netherlands national agency as a priority, as a national priority there. Or if you will apply it, for example, in Slovenia, the same for a Slovenian national agency. So this is the opportunity to do it. But normally, I would just say that it's more important that you have the, let's say, really good structure of your project, and you have all the evidence, as we said before. Then you try to predict if it's possible, some new thing. It's just not possible to say.
Yeah, we can cover only the things that we have information on. We don't know what's going to be next year's trend if they have a preference
Yeah,
for those
exactly.
evaluations.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think those are all of the questions there. We just have one logistical thing to clarify is when will this tool be available and for whom it will be available, considering that the deadline is on the 5th of March.
Okay, super. So, yeah, I have the question for you. Okay, before that, we still have strategic call, just, figure it out. But, just because of that, I already start to prepare, and we have an online evaluation course, which we will start on March 19th and 21st, and we need to have 3 morning workshop online. Okay. But one very important thing here is, because this is already too late, it's after the March deadlines, and I don't want to give you 3 days workshop before the deadline, because that time is super important. So I will run for everyone who will, apply here before this Friday. So this Friday, 28th of February at 7 p.m., you can get access to Universal Project Evaluator. So these are what I showed today, with the 60 minutes education how to use it, plus recording, and you can start using right away. So why then I have this 3 days later? Because in this 3 days training later, you will learn how to adjust it to any project in the future. Not only for Erasmus, you can use it, for example, for, let's say, Horizon. You will learn how to integrate suggestion in the project text. So this is the second day. In the third, how to improve and polish text, as I said. So again, if you will until the Friday buy this, and I will show you here what's how to buy it. You can already get it this Friday with 160-minute education how to use it. And here is a QR code, so you can just go here, and I will also open it. So here is the landing page with the pictures you already know and understand how important it is to build that. And we already have some, the feedback of the people and how to do it. And we will have set in the March, but on the Friday we have this time. So you have 3 options to buy it. 4 installment for 225 euros if you paid with the credit card, or if you have one-time payment with the credit card, or if you want to pay, using pro forma invoice by your organization, you just can download this pro forma invoice and pay it, and just send us proof of payment before Friday. So in any case, on Friday, I will run and give away this tool for everybody who wants to be here. And this price, 900 euros, is just because you are here in the school community, because the normal price is 1,500 and will be from March 19 onwards. Okay, so this is our, let's say, opportunity to give you something much much less than normally other people will pay. So again, if you will pay it until the Friday, you can get it already on Friday. If not, you can get it on the 19th to 21, everything what you need to do. Okay. Any questions directly here? If you want, you just can, uh, raise your hand and ask, maybe just ask directly, or you can also, of course, write into the chat. Any questions? Okay.
Probably to unmute people.
Okay. Okay, if there is no other question.
I have just, I'm sorry for
Yeah,
interruption.
okay.
I have just one question. Is this evaluator is just for Erasmus projects or any kind of call in general? For example, let's say I'm going to apply for AC project or connection project, or I'm going
As
to
I said
apply
here,
for
yeah,
SERF, for
it is
AMF,
not.
for Creative Europe.
This is universal, so you can adjust it to any project in the future.
Yes.
So it already have few evaluation matrix with the 300 questions, as you said, but in that course from 19 to 25, you will learn how to do your evaluation matrix, upload it, and base. You can evaluate Creative Europe, you can evaluate Horizon, because I'm doing that all the time already.
Yeah.
But you can do it also for some other projects as well.
If I may add, I answer in the chat that in the Budva, when we have the evaluation training, we had all Horizon and UNESCO, Erasmus Plus, and Interreg. So this is applicable to all calls, and just the criteria is different, but that can be that shows great results. And one more question is here from Branka. What is the investment for face-to-face session?
So investment in the face-to-face session is normally 250 euro per session. What you get for that session, you can ask whatever you want. You can get whatever answer you want to get it, but it's up to you to prepare and maybe submit me, let's say, whatever you want to talk upfront. So we will have 1 hour to explain whatever you want to do it. We also have an option, but this is really, if you cannot do differently, if you want me to evaluate your project, this is 300 euros as well. But I will definitely suggest you to invest into your own universal tool, because the price for 300 euros is just because I don't have time anymore, to really be with everybody who wants to have my time. That's why you can have your own tool, and this is for forever.
Yeah. And if I just can add also something about the strategic call, it's as Igor explained, it's the free call that you can book with experts from our team to see what are your needs and what are your expectation or vision about yourself in future or about your team. Sometimes we understand it is not just the skills about project writings or evaluation, sometimes the lack of partners for your future projects. So one of the benefits from face-to-face training is that we spend 4 days face-to-face intensive training, which means that you meet at least 20 new people who are also writing projects or evaluating projects, depends on the training. And then you get the whole package for your future projects, and not just for but you are invited in some other projects because you are together with us building the network of project partners. So the benefit of the face-to-face is certainly mentorship from Igor that is direct, and he can see how you are doing hands-on things in front of him. He is giving you the instant feedback to improve, and of course the network that you are getting from the face-to-face. So we are recommending face-to-face, but also online trainings are for people who cannot travel to the place that we are having those in-person trainings.
Yeah, super. Thank you very much, Sanya. In any case, try to use whatever is free here. And when you will use it, you will see the quality. And that quality, I believe it's much above all other resources you have in our whatever, in the LinkedIn or you know, normally groups in the LinkedIn or Facebook are just about trying to find new partners, you know. But what about really how to make things together? Nobody's teaching. I believe this is the only the community where we teach how to do it, and that is our unique value. I believe that in future, a lot of you will also participate with your knowledge. So that's why you have community. That's why you can create the post. You can say, look what I'm doing here. For example, that is one of the super good things. So you can do your own post. For example, like Claudia did here, how she did the needs analysis and how doing that. And everybody can, you know, say, oh, you're doing that way. Or when Borut is doing how to, you know, do the bad score in the evaluation, so how to do it. So all of those, everybody of you can, you know, create something, you know, and that is really, really important, that it's not just take it, it's also give back. And when somebody else will see, I don't know, for example, let's say Borut is doing that and that, and say, okay, Borut is really expert on that. Maybe we can work on the project together. Maybe we can have one course together. Maybe, let's say, we have training. You know, that is the good part of this community, you know. And of course,
Yes.
all the free resources which you have in the classroom, and everything what you want to see here will be in the calendar. And, you know, just when you see something which is useful for you, you can just open it like today and just add it to calendar, and you will never forget it. You know, you will have in your calendar, in, for example, your Google or Apple, whatever calendar you have.
Yeah.
So this is really good thing. But then when you go to the membership, you see all the members. And what I will really suggest that you will explain here who you are and what you're doing. You know, when you say something like that, at least people understand what you need to do. And maybe when you'll go and try to find somebody who is doing, let's say, one specific or in that sector, you can go and chat with this person, or at least try to invite it. So you can also go here in the search members and say what sector, you know. Okay, there is nobody who mentioned this in the strategic description of cell, but let's do it that way, because it will be much better for you to see you know what we're doing. But when you say that, you know, you can have some kind of different things with like here. So it's plenty of opportunity for us to work together. And when you see that the quality of the information here, then it's much easier for you to say, let's work together, or let's go to the coaching session with Igor or with Borut or with Sanya.
Yeah.
So that would be, this is the idea of what we work together.
Yeah. I just want to ask people to write something on the wall to see how they see the community. So to have their feedback, how they feel it, do they find it useful? And what I really think it is good about community is that everybody can find his own way or pace to learn. Some people really need bit by bit, a little bit of prompting, a little bit of shifting to another way of doing. Some people need a fast learning. So we created community and we offer for everybody something that they need, and they really know what's for them there. So please welcome to share your thoughts and to book a free call with us to tell us what do you need from as our support from us.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So,
also I see there is one more question. I think, Sanja, I'm interested in 4 days in Romania, unless you would have something in Serbia in the meanwhile. So Branka, if you're interested for Serbia, I will do it just for you.
okay, we have few requests from Serbia. Maybe we will do this this year again, but you know, at least you have few other people who will work together with us. But we have really nice time last time in Belgrade, so I believe we need to repeat it. You know, and
Yes, of course.
yeah.
We are planning
So,
for some towns, for some cities to make it like regular. But in this, until the July, it won't be Serbia, but Rome and Bucharest is now. And from the September, probably, yes, again. Why not?
so I'm sorry for interruption, but what about Cairo, Egypt as well? In
Oh,
case,
I was
so
reached by a couple of people from Egypt, and I was really open to negotiate that in future. So if you think that you can be our organizer there, we are so willing to help you do it. We
what
are
I'm
so interested because Igor had one training in Sharm el Sheikh. Yes,
Yeah.
am I
No, right
right?
now we are in Cairo. We are in the center of
Yeah.
Cairo next to the Egyptian Museum. So our
So
office is next to the Egyptian Museum. So if you would like to come, you are always welcome.
yeah, we are like to come, so you can reach me or book the free call with me so we can talk about everything. And thank you for this. We are
You're
glad to
welcome.
come to your region, of course.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, any other question? If not, I really suggest to think if this evaluation tool is useful for you. Try to figure it out. Even you can, you know, reach us if you want to have some other, let's say, suggestions for payment, because sometimes it's just a problem. Just let us know and we'll try to find the possible solution, because we always find a solution for the people who really want to be part of the our community. So I will again say thank you very much for the participation here. You know, and I hope really that we will work together in the future. Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
evening. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.